What? It's so low.
Very, very chilly.
It's cold in here. Yeah, it's cold in here.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, everyone. The public has been duly informed of this meeting in accordance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 by posting at least 48 hours in advance a notice on the bulletin boards in Stevenson and Churchill School, a notice to the Township Clerk, and a notice to the Herald News and the Progress. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, public comments on agenda items only. Does anybody have anything? Okay.
Okay, so under personnel, I'd like to approve the 3 listed tenure-track teachers. For 2, we're going to approve the rescinding employment as listed. She was board approved back in January, so we need to rescind it. For number 3, we have movement on the guide to approve Gianna as listed. We also have a retirement for June 30th of Angela Britton, and we would like to wish her the best and thank her for all of her years here, 24 years of service here in Fairfield. We wish her the best, and we will miss her. For number 5, to approve the mentor teacher as listed. Number 6, we have a maternity leave, so I'd like to approve that. Number 7, to approve the change of assignment for the remainder of the school year. Number 8, to approve the job description. We have a club advisor that I'd like to approve for number 9. And then under non-certificated staff, to approve the change of assignment as listed for William Harvey. And then for number 2, we have 2 custodians that we'd like to approve, as well as a cafeteria playground office aide and the technology network admin assistant. For number 3, to approve the revised job description. And for C, to approve the substitute for the 23-24 school year.
Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Feedy?
Yes.
Ms. Street?
Yes.
Ms. Altai?
Yes.
Mr. DePasquale?
Yes.
Okay, under curriculum and program, to approve the uniform memorandum of agreement. Also, we have the field trip approval, as well as for C, to waive the special education Medicaid initiative. And for D, to approve the workshops, the attendance reimbursement for registration and mileage. And I'd like to just point out that we do have one that is coming out of Title II funds.
Motion?
Motion. Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll. Mr. Feedy?
Yes.
Ms. Street?
Yes.
Ms. Altai?
Yes.
Mr. DePasquale?
Yes.
Under policy, to approve the first reading of the 2 policies listed. That's it.
Resolution? Approval? Introduce? Motion?
Motion. Second.
No discussion. Mr. Feedy?
Yes.
Ms. Street?
Yes.
Ms. Altai?
Yes.
Mr. DePasquale?
Yes.
Okay, under Finance, page 7 of the agenda, approval of the minutes as per the attachment. Part B, bills and claims as listed on page 7. Payroll for January 30th as well as payroll for February 15th. C is to transfer funds for January of 2024, as well as the Secretary's report and Treasurer's report for the same month. National Lunch Program is item E. We still don't fall under the qualifications to enroll in the lunch program, but it needs a separate board resolution for the state to know that we will continue it. F is a notification of withdrawal for the request for public assistance. This was, FEMA contacted me, and at one point, I guess, prior BA put in an application, but there was no COVID-related expense, so they asked us to withdraw it. Under G, New Jersey Learning Grant, Mr. Santana wrote the grant, and it's going to be submitted to the state, and after this meeting, we'll be able to get the resolution to him. For contracts, the roof replacement at Winston Churchill School. So I know every month it almost appears as if it's the same resolution, but this is the execution agreement, section 15, which means that now we're allowed to bid it. The total project cost for one section of the roof is $130,000. And the state share that they're giving us back is $52,000. So that's why it has to be in resolution form, so that after it begins, we could submit for the reimbursement. For the bottom of page 9, which is building use application, as listed on page 10, everyone knows that we approve the facility request forms. So can I have a motion for all those items from page, what is it, 10 on? No, I'm sorry, from page 7 forward.
Oh, all of them.
Motion?
Motion. Second.
Any discussion?
Kathleen, on G, can you just tell the members of the audience briefly on the New Jersey Learning Acceleration Grant, just a little bit of what it entails and what the money will be used for, so they...
Okay, so this is a state grant that came out probably around November, and you had to apply for it, but at the time, we didn't know how much money we would receive. And it's specifically geared towards tutors, whether before the bell in the morning, after school, and summers. So right now, there's some rubric if we were going to go out for a specific company to come in, but we're going to utilize our teaching staff to teach our children. And that's what that's about. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Kathleen. Roll.
Okay. Mr. Feedy?
Yes.
Ms. Street?
Yes.
Ms. Altai?
Yes.
Mr. DePasquale?
Yes. Under old business, I would like to take a moment and just congratulate the Fairfield Education Foundation for having their first successful fundraiser. As you all know, they raised $35,000, and we're looking forward to them working with the district and, you know, filling some shortcomings that we have financially. So we're very excited. Thank you very much for all that you've done, and we look forward to working with you in the future.
I just have one item under old business. As a result of the questions passing in November, one of the many things that we were able to restore was the chicks program in kindergarten. The eggs were delivered, they were hatched successfully, and the farmer has come back to pick up the chicks. So thank you to the staff at Stevenson for making that happen, and of course to the community for bringing back that program.
Okay. And under old business, Angela is going to address the community outreach program and the results of the survey that was sent out, the shareholder stake survey.
As you may remember, we spoke about forming a superintendent search committee at the last few board meetings. And over the course of the last, I would say, probably 2 months, we were able to go through those applications and actually form a committee, and a survey went out. So this is to share the survey results and just give you a little bit of background on what we were able to accomplish as a committee. So we had 10 people selected for this committee. They were selected from a pool of Churchill parents, Stevenson parents, and community members who no longer have children in the district. We felt as a board that it was important to include different types of professional backgrounds, so we had both educational and non-educational backgrounds. It did include 4 school administrators and 2 teachers from West Essex. we felt that it was important to have 2 people on the committee from the school that we're ultimately going to be sending these kids to, who can give us some feedback as to what they're seeing from Fairfield. We met 3 times. Some of the things that we focused on were that we analyzed and discussed the job description and looked at some updates that we'd like to add to that. We discussed the interview format, what the different rounds of interviews would look like, and compiled interview questions. And we also developed the stakeholder survey. The committee felt that it would be important to allow for anonymous responses. We thought that it would encourage people to be more forthcoming in any ideas or concerns that they wanted to share. And it was blasted to all of the district parents, faculty and staff, as well as all members of the community. And again, we also allowed for open-ended feedback so that the board could take that into consideration during the interview process. So these are just some of the results. As you can see, it's broken down just in simple pie charts. Blue is faculty, administrator, staff members. The red are current parents, and the yellow or orange are residents without children in the district. So we received 165 responses, mostly from parents of current students. The top 3 issues that we saw throughout the comments in the survey that they felt the district was facing was, of course, budget, space, and staffing. The most important changes they would like to see, the common theme was budget, curriculum, and again, staffing. The 3 most important leadership qualities, just professionalism, someone proactive, open-minded, honest and ethical, resourceful, someone with people skills, and some of the hard skills that the stakeholders shared that they would like to see is, of course, financial management and budget development, curriculum development and alignment, and public relations. So when considering the candidate profile, it was broken down into several different components. This, again, is just a pie chart. You can just see the breakdown. It has school district superintendent and/or central office experience, which was sort of an even split between important, critically important, and important. So critically important being blue, important being red. Has classroom experience. It was largely felt that it was critically important. Has experience managing a school district with specialized programs, including gifted and talented and special ed, again, about equal. One of the big ones was someone with expertise and knowledge of curriculum instruction and supervision practices and trends. Demonstrates experience and measurable results in providing exemplary education for all students, including how to close opportunity and achievement gaps in subgroups. That was a long one. And again, about 57% felt it was critically important. Looking for someone with experience recruiting, hiring, and retaining effective district personnel. 70%, of course, felt that was critically important and is visible at school and community events. It's about half and half. So the next steps will be that we will utilize this input as a board in order to screen and narrow down the candidate pool. And the board members will be conducting interviews utilizing rubrics to make sure that each candidate has a fair shot, and we maintain consistency throughout the interview process. And the interviews will begin on February 25th, and we look forward to sharing updates as we go along.
Thank you. So I'd like to take a second and thank the committee members for their several late nights and the input. And I'd like to thank Angela for not only presenting, but preparing that information and presenting it to all of us tonight. So thank you to the committee members, and thank you to Angela as well. Anyone else on their old business? All right, on to new business. Anyone have new business? Committees. I'll bring Tracy up during committees. Yes, absolutely. So nothing on the new business? All right, committee reports. We'll start with building and grounds.
Sure. As we just spoke about earlier, we have officially gone out to bid for the partial roof replacement in Churchill. We expect to have all the applicants in by the end of March and then make a quick decision, as that'll all start in July, to replace that section of the roof.
Okay. Joe, while we have you, anything on finance?
Wait until I shut it off on purpose. No major update to finance. Obviously, we're in the preliminary budget process. We find out our state funding next week. So then we can have real conversations about where we are currently and what we're looking to do to have a balanced and, I guess, logical budget. That's where we are.
Thank you very much. HSA, Melinda?
Sure. For those of you that don't know, the HSA is made up of a group of volunteers in the schools, and they donate back to the schools about $75,000 to $100,000 per year to our school in different forms. They have two events coming up. One is the Color Run, which is a community event, which will be on March 23rd at 9 a.m. It's $35 to sign up, and if you'd like to sign up and, participate, please go to their website, fairfieldhsa.org. And then on May 15th, they're also holding their spring fundraiser at the Mansion at Mountain Lakes, which will be a tricky try, and more information will be forthcoming there. And their next meeting will be held on February 28th at 7 p.m. in Churchill.
Thank you, Melinda.
Welcome.
For special education, we actually have one of our executive members here, Tracy, who will talk about our upcoming CPAC meeting.
Thanks, Anthony. So we have developed the special parent group for special education, which is a requirement of the state. We have a Facebook page, so anybody who wants to join the CPAC Facebook page, you can go on to, it's Fairfield CPAC. You can find that on Facebook. Next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, we will have our first parent, well, it's actually our second meeting, but for official first meeting will be on Tuesday, and it will, the content will be around the difference between IEPs and 504s, and we'll start by introducing the executive committee and letting everybody know what CPAC is going to be doing for the next several months. But you can expect that you will see us posting meetings. They'll be either, as we bring new content in, we'll either have them monthly or quarterly. Right now, we are working to get an attorney to come in and talk about parents' rights as the next speaker. So we will publicize those dates as they come available to us. But it's really important to, the CPAC group is not there as a fundraiser or things like that. This group is here to be support for parents and for the special education students. So it's really an interesting group of parents that have come together that really are just there to bring concerns back to the district. So we'll be meeting with the Board of Education, all of you, on a quarterly basis to bring our concerns from the parents and the students, and then working on solutions to those concerns.
And Tracy, just for those that don't know, can you just elaborate on how this is an educational group that's there to educate the parents that are not aware of the difference between a
Yeah, all
504 and an
parents.
IEP, and to kind of let you know if your child is having a problem or struggling, the resources that are out there and where we can go, and how it kind of all coincides with, being an educational group as well as a group that has the best interests of special education in mind.
Sure. So it's super important to know that, it's hard, right? As parents, it's hard to know where to start. And this group is brought together because either they've been through it before or we've done our research. The state provides a lot of training and education for CPAC group leaders to understand how to run the CPAC group. But what really it is best practices and ways that parents can help deal with certain situations that their children are going through, and how to identify those. And so we'll talk a lot about best practices and where to start, and then how do you get the school involved? How do you become collaborative with the school, not so not back and forth on it's our responsibility as parents, it's the school's responsibility, who's doing what. So it's really about educating all parties on how to kind of navigate the system. But it's not meant for just parents that have children with IEPs or 504s. It's meant for all parents or anybody that's interested or has a concern that wants to come and be a part of making our district better and making more available to our special education students.
Thank you very much, Tracy. And Ms. Cafone, just a question for you. Is there a link on the website for that, for our?
Yeah, if you go under the special services page, right to the left, CPAC has their own page. You
flyers up there and then all the state regulations and everything
Wonderful. And any meeting dates will be
posted right on top. So you open the page,
wonderful.
it out.
Thank you very much. Anyone have anything else under committee reports?
We had a technology as well as a curriculum and instruction committee. It was one meeting, but two parts. And in attendance were myself and President Dee Pascal, Mike Ludwig, William Harvey, Ms. Morano, Dr. Cicatelli, and then Dr. Tribuco joined us for the curriculum portion. On the technology end, we had 130 Chromebooks arrive, and that was purchased with the funds that we received from the questions passing on the ballot. And they also include the 3-year accidental damage warranty, which we've heard you get a lot of use out of at Churchill School. Last year, we received 71 Chromebooks from a grant, so Churchill is in good shape. We're trying to keep the newer machines in the upper grade so that they're covered under the warranty, and then move the older machines down to Stevenson because they remain in the buildings. Software programs like Genesis are remaining the same. We're waiting on a quote for alarms on the doors, and Churchill is being rewired, and the server is going to be relocated for proper temperature and ventilation. On the curriculum and instruction end, we are budgeting for textbooks. There's going to be a change in the 6th grade math to align with West Essex and the other sending districts. Social studies standards have changed, so they're looking ahead to budget to update those materials for next year, and then science would be the 26-27 school year. The math curriculum committee had to speed up their revision for math. The plan was worked out to update it for K2 before Mrs. Valenti leaves. And the district updates for ELA and math need to be in place for September. And that's it on curriculum.
Thank you very much, Ms. Altai. So if there's nothing else under committee reports, we'd like to open up the floor to public comments on non-agenda items only.
Just a quick change on our meeting on Tuesday. It was going to be at the rec center.
Yes.
It's now moved to the Stevenson School cafeteria.
Yes, so just to
So-
touch on that, so everyone is aware of why we're having the change, is because the meeting room that we reserved can accommodate anywhere between 35 to 40 comfortably, and we're hoping for a bigger turnout. So we're hoping that everyone gets out and, takes part in this and, educates themselves on the CPAC and comes out and, really gets a grasp on what this group is trying to do now that we're in full swing. So thank you very much. Okay, with that being said, next meeting, be it resolved that the next meeting will be held in person on March 14th, 2024. Public work session beginning at 6 p.m., followed by executive session, with public session resuming approximately 7:30 p.m. at the Fairfield Municipal Building. Can I have a motion for adjournment?
Motion?
Roll call?
Yes.
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 Yes.